The phone rang. Not loudly. Not urgently. Just once. Henry Wilson stopped breathing. His wrinkled fingers trembled as they hovered over the screen, afraid that if he touched it too quickly, the sound might disappear. The old phone lay on the wooden table like a sleeping child, silent, fragile, full of unanswered hope. The room was dim, lit by a single yellow bulb that flickered as if even electricity was tired of waiting. Henry leaned closer, his heart pounding. But the screen went dark. No missed call. No name. No voice. He slowly sat back in his chair, staring at the wall where an old family photograph hung slightly crooked. In the picture, a younger Henry stood proudly with his wife, Margaret, and their little son, Michael. All three were smiling, believing that the future would always stay close. That future now lived far away. In a city full of glass buildings, fast elevators, and people who never looked back. Henry Wilson was 70 years old. Every morning he woke up before the sun, not because he needed to, but because sleep no longer trusted him. He washed his face slowly, staring at his reflection, trying to recognize the man looking back at him. His hands shook more than they used to. His eyes were weaker, but his heart was still strong enough to feel pain. He made tea for one. One cup. One plate. One chair pulled out at the table. Margaret had passed away 5 years earlier, quietly, the way candles burn out when no one notices. After that, the house learned how to be silent. The walls listened more than they spoke. The clock ticked louder than any conversation. Henry's son Michael lived in New York. A successful man. A busy man. An important man. At least that was what Henry told himself every time the phone didn't ring. He kept the phone in his pocket while eating, just in case. He kept it beside his pillow while sleeping, just in case. He carried it with him even into the bathroom, just in case. Just in case his son remembered. Michael used to call every Sunday. Then it became every 2 weeks. Then once a month. Now Henry could not remember the last time he heard his son's voice without dialing the number himself. And even then, the conversations were short. "Hi Dad, I'm in a meeting." "Dad, I'll call you later." "Dad, I'm really busy right now." Later never came. Henry never complained. Not once. Because in his mind, a father's love was supposed to be quiet, invisible, patient. He believed that if he waited long enough, love would return on its own. One afternoon, as rain tapped gently against the window, Henry stared at his phone again. He pressed the side button. Nothing happened. He pressed harder. Still nothing. A strange thought crossed his mind. Maybe the phone was broken. The idea gave him hope, and hope gave him strength. He put on his old jacket, carefully locked the door, and walked slowly down the street to a small mobile repair shop he had passed many times but never entered. The shop was small, filled with wires, screens, and the soft hum of machines. A young mechanic named Alex looked up and smiled politely. "How can I help you, sir?" Henry handed him the phone with both hands, as if it were something precious. "Son," he said softly, "please check this phone. I think something is wrong with it." Alex examined it carefully. He cleaned the screen, checked the battery, pressed a few buttons, and then looked up, confused. "Sir, your phone is perfectly fine," he said. "There's nothing wrong with it." Henry swallowed. "Are you sure?" he asked quietly. "Yes, sir, it's working properly." Henry's eyes filled with tears. "Then," he whispered, his voice breaking, "why does it never ring?" Alex froze. The shop grew silent. Henry continued, barely able to speak. "My children, their voices don't come from this phone anymore. If it isn't broken, then why is it so quiet?" Alex felt something heavy settle in his chest. Without saying a word, he dialed a number from the phone. "Michael Wilson." The phone rang. Once. Twice. 3 times. Then someone answered. Yes, Michael's voice sounded distant and tired. "Hello," Alex said gently. "Sir, I'm calling from a mobile repair shop. Your father is here." Silence. Henry held the phone, his hands shaking. "Dad," Michael said. Henry opened his mouth. No sound came out. Tears rolled down his cheeks as years of waiting collapsed into a single moment. He tried to speak, but all he could do was breathe. Michael heard it. The breathing. The silence. The pain. Something inside him broke. Dad, are you okay? Michael asked. Henry finally spoke. I just wanted to check if my phone was working. There was a long pause. Michael closed his eyes. In that moment, the noise of his office faded. The deadlines, the meetings, the success, all of it suddenly felt empty. He imagined his father sitting alone in a small shop, holding a phone like it was his last connection to the world. I'm coming home, Michael said. That night, Henry slept holding the phone in his hand. For the first time in years, it felt warm. 2 days later, there was a knock on the door. Henry opened it. Michael stood there. They didn't speak. They didn't need to. They hugged. And for the first time in a long time, the house was no longer silent. Because sometimes, the greatest wealth in the world is not money. It is time. And the strongest relationships are not built on success. They are built on presence. Before phones stop ringing forever, we must remember to call. Because love does not wait. And neither does time. Parents do not need expensive gifts. They need time and care.